I have to take away your crutches. I have to take away your illusions. And the greatest illusion, the most dangerous illusion that humanity has ever created is hope. You have been told that hope is a virtue. You have been told hope sustains life. Hope is the light at the end of the tunnel. Never lose hope. Poets have sung about it. Philosophers have written about it. Priests have preached about it. But I say to you, hope is a disease. Hope is a cancer of the soul. It is not a friend, it is the enemy. It is the enemy because it does not allow you to live. It keeps you hanging. It keeps you waiting. And while you are waiting, life is slipping through your fingers like sand. Hope is the art of postponing life. Hope is the trick the mind plays on you to avoid the reality of the now. Look at the word hope. What does it mean? It always implies the future. You cannot hope for the past, it is gone. You cannot hope for the present, it is already here. You can only hope for tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Have you ever seen tomorrow? Has anyone ever met tomorrow? Whenever it comes as today. It comes as now, but your mind is fixed on the tomorrow that never arrives. You are like the donkey with a carrot dangling in front of his eyes. The driver sits on the cart, he holds a stick, on the stick a string, on the string a carrot. The carrot is just 2 feet in front of the donkey's nose. The donkey sees the carrot. He thinks, just one more step and I will get it. So he takes a step. But when he takes a step, the cart moves, the driver moves, the stick moves, the carrot moves. The distance remains the same. The donkey runs faster. He thinks, if I run fast, I will catch it. He runs and runs. He sweats. He pants. He exhausts himself. He can run around the whole earth, but he will never catch the carrot. Hope is that carrot, and you are the donkey. I am sorry to be so blunt, but unless I hit you hard, you will not wake up. You have been running after carrots for 30 years, 40 years, 60 years. Look back. What have you caught? Where is the fulfillment you promised yourself 10 years ago? 10 years ago, you said, when I get this job, I will be happy. You got the job? Are you happy? Then you said, when I get married, I will be happy. You got married. Are you happy? Then you said, when I have children, when the children grow up, when I retire. Always when, always then, never now. Hope is a horizon. It looks real. It looks like the earth is meeting the sky. You can see the line. It is so clear. But try to reach it. As you move towards the horizon moves back. It is a mirage. It is an optical illusion of the mind. But because of this illusion, you waste your reality. You sacrifice the today for the sake of a tomorrow that is nothing but a dream. Do you know the Greek myth of Pandora? It is a very significant story. It contains a great psychological truth. Pandora opened the box that was forbidden. And out of the box came all the plagues of the world, all the diseases, all the miseries, all the curses. They flew out into the world to torture humanity. Pandora was terrified. She slammed the lid shut. But one thing remained inside the box. Only one thing was left behind. Do you know what it was? It was hope. Why? Why was hope in the box of diseases? Why was hope in the box of curses? The ancient Greeks were wise. They knew something that you have forgotten. They knew that hope is the final curse. It is the most dangerous plague of all. Because if there were no hope, man would have to face his reality. If there were no hope, man would have to wake up. But hope acts as a drug. It acts as a buffer. You are in pain? Don't worry, says hope. Tomorrow will be better. You are poor? Don't worry, says hope. One day you will be rich. You are lonely? Don't worry, your soulmate is coming. So you endure the pain. You tolerate the misery. You swallow the poison of today because of the sweetness of tomorrow. Hope allows you to tolerate the intolerable. If hope was taken away, if I take away your hope right now, what will happen? You will fall into a deep despair. You will fall into a crisis. And that crisis is necessary. That crisis is the beginning of transformation. But hope prevents the crisis. Hope keeps you lukewarm. It keeps you sleepwalking towards the grave. We must understand the psychology behind this disease. Why is the human mind so addicted to hope? Why can't we just stop hoping and start living? Because living is dangerous. Living is insecure. Living means facing the unknown. And the mind is terrified of the unknown. The mind wants certainty. The mind wants security. Hope gives you a false sense of security. It gives you a map of the future. I will do this, then I will do that, and then everything will be perfect. It is a fairy tale you tell yourself to calm your fear. But deep down, you know it is a lie. Deep down, you know that tomorrow brings death, not fulfillment. Tomorrow brings old age. Tomorrow brings sickness. But you cover it up with hope. No. Tomorrow brings the lottery win. Tomorrow brings the promotion. You are behaving like an ostrich. You bury your head in the sand of hope so you don't have to see the approaching storm. But the deeper reason, the root cause is postponement. You are not ready to live. You are not capable of living. Because to live, you need intensity, you need passion, you need fire. To live in the now requires you to be totally present. And to be totally present is difficult. It requires you to drop your baggage. It requires you to drop your past and your future. Have you ever tried to be totally in the moment, just sitting here, just breathing? Immediately the mind gets bored. The mind says, this is useless. Let's do something. Let's plan something. The mind cannot exist in the present. Note this down. The mind cannot exist in the present. The mind is a mechanism of time. It is a pendulum that swings between past and future. Past is memory, future is hope. Memory and hope, these are the two walls of your prison. The mind remembers the past. Oh, those were the good old days. Or it hopes for the future. Oh, the golden age is coming. But in between these two, there is a small gap. The now. The mind cannot enter that gap, because in the now there is no thinking, there is only being. In the now there is no becoming, you just are. And the mind feels useless. If I am not planning, if I am not worrying, if I am not hoping, who am I? The mind feels like it is dying. So, to save itself, the mind invents hope. Hope is the fuel that keeps the machinery of the mind running. I have to achieve this goal. I have to become a millionaire. I have to become enlightened. Even enlightenment becomes a hope. Even God becomes a hope. You are not searching for God, you are postponing life in the name of God. You say, I am doing my sadhana, I am practicing yoga. One day I will be realized. One day, why not now? What is lacking right now? The sun is shining, the birds are singing, the breath is flowing. Existence is complete right now. But you are not here. You are in the one day. You are in the someday. And someday is not a day of the week. It exists nowhere. Hope is an anesthetic. It is a painkiller. Why do you need a painkiller? Because you have a wound. Because you are miserable. A happy man does not hope. Think about it. If you are totally happy right now, ecstatically happy, dancing, celebrating, do you hope for tomorrow? Do you stop the dance and say, I hope tomorrow I can dance? No, you just dance. The dance is so total that the future disappears, the tomorrow disappears. The moment is enough unto itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof, and sufficient unto the day is the beauty thereof. If you are really joyous, time stops. Have you not noticed? When you are in deep love, time stops. When you are listening to beautiful music, time stops. There is no hope. There is no despair. There is just pure isness. But when you are in pain, when you are in a dentist's chair, then time becomes long. Then you hope. When will this end? When will I be free? Hope is a symptom of misery. The more hopeful a person is, the more miserable he must be deep down. Look at the poor people. They have great hope. They believe in heaven. They believe in the afterlife. They need that hope to survive their poverty. Look at the rich people. They don't care about heaven. They have their heaven here. But they are miserable too, because their heaven turned out to be hell. So now they hope for something else, peace of mind, meditation, gurus. The object of hope changes, but the mechanism remains the same. I am not enough. This moment is not enough. I need something more. This constant begging for more is what I call the beggar's bow. You are all carrying a beggar's bow, and you are standing in front of existence, begging, give me more time, give me more money, give me more pleasure. And existence is laughing. Existence says, I have given you the kingdom, I have given you the treasury. It is inside you. But you are not looking inside, you are looking at the horizon. You are looking at the cloud of hope. This psychology of postponement is fatal. It kills your aliveness, because if you think I will live tomorrow, you will be half dead today. Why put energy into today if the real life is tomorrow? So you drag yourself through the day. You do your job like a zombie. You kiss your wife like a robot. You are saving yourself for the weekend. You are saving yourself for the vacation. You are saving yourself for retirement. You are always saving. You are a miser. And then death knocks on the door. And you say, wait, I haven't lived yet. I was saving myself. And death says, time is up. The account is closed. Then you realize the tremendous stupidity of hope. You realize you traded the diamond of the present for the plastic promise of the future. You traded the real for the fake. Don't be a miser. Don't postpone. Postponement is the sin. If you want to laugh, laugh now. If you want to dance, dance now. If you want to love, love now. Don't say when the conditions are perfect. Conditions are never perfect. Or rather, conditions are always perfect if you are alert. Hope tells you, wait for the perfect condition. Life tells you, create the perfect condition by living totally. Drop the waiting. The waiting room is a prison cell. Open the door. The door is not locked. It is only locked by your hope. You think the key is in the future. The key is in your pocket. The key is awareness. But awareness kills hope. That is the trouble. If you become aware, you see that the future is a fabrication and you don't want to lose your beautiful dream. So you choose to remain asleep. You choose the disease because you are afraid of the cure. The cure is bitter. The cure is to accept that there is no tomorrow. Can you accept that? Can you live as if this is the last moment? If this were the last moment of your life, would you hope? No. You would live, you would breathe, you would look at the sky with such intensity that your eyes would burn because there is no time left to waste. Hope gives you the false idea that there is plenty of time. I can meditate tomorrow, I can love tomorrow. Hope makes you lazy. Hopelessness, spiritual hopelessness makes you intense. It makes you a flame. Let us look at the man of hope. Let us look at his posture. He is always looking up. He is always asking. He is always demanding. He is a beggar. He may be an emperor. He may conquer the whole world. He may have mountains of gold. But if he still has hope, he is a beggar because he is still saying more. This is not enough. I need more territory. I need more power. I need more life. The word more is the mantra of the beggar, and hope is the begging bowl. But this bowl is very strange. It is a magical bowl. It has a hole in the bottom. You can pour the whole world into it. Alexander the Great tried, Napoleon tried, but the bowl remains empty. Whatever you put in leaks out. You put in money, in a few days you are used to it. The joy is gone, you need more. You put in fame, in a few days it becomes stale, you need more. Hope consumes everything and retains nothing. It is a black hole. You have heard the story of Alexander the Great. I love this story because it exposes the supreme stupidity of the hopeful man. Alexander was coming to India. He met Diogenes. Diogenes was a mystic, a naked man living in a barrel with nothing. He had thrown away even his begging bowl because he saw a dog drinking from the river and realized the dog is smarter than me. He doesn't need a bowl. So Diogenes was lying on the river bank, sunbathing, totally blissful. Alexander stood over him. His shadow fell on Diogenes. Diogenes opened one eye and said, "Move a little to the side. You are blocking my sun." Alexander was shocked. No one spoke to the conqueror of the world like this. He said, "Do you know who I am? I am Alexander the Great." Diogenes laughed. He said, "Great? You look like a slave to me. You are running around the world like a madman. Where are you going?" Alexander said, "I am going to conquer India." Diogenes asked, "And then?" Alexander said, "Then I will conquer China." Diogenes asked, "And then?" Alexander said, "Then the whole world will be mine." Diogenes asked, "And then?" Alexander said, Then I will relax." Diogenes laughed so hard the birds flew away. He said, "You are mad. I am relaxing now. Why wait to conquer the world? Is the world preventing you from relaxing? The sun is here. The river is here. The sand is warm. Lay down. Let us relax together." Alexander felt embarrassed. He realized the truth. But he said, "I cannot. I have a destiny." He had hope. And that hope drove him to his death. He died young, on the way back, miserable, frustrated. He died a beggar. And Diogenes lived as an emperor. Why? Because Diogenes had no hope. He did not need the next moment to complete him. He was complete here. This is the definition of a spiritual man. One who has thrown away the begging bowl. One who says, "I am enough. This moment is enough." When you say this is enough, suddenly you are full. Suddenly you are overflowing. Joy is not something you find in the future. Joy is the byproduct of contentment. And contentment is the death of hope. Society tells you, be ambitious. Don't be contented. Contentment is for cows. Yes, contentment is for cows. And cows are far more sane than your politicians. Have you ever seen a cow having a nervous breakdown? Have you ever seen a cow committing suicide? Have you ever seen a cow accumulating grass for the future? I need to stack grass for my grandchildren. No, the cow is in the immediate present. Chew the grass, enjoy the sun. Man has lost that capacity. Man thinks he is superior because he can plan, but his planning has become his prison. You are so busy planning the banquet that you are starving to death. The food is in front of you, but your eyes are on the menu of the next restaurant. Eat what is on your plate. Life is served fresh every moment. But the hopeful man cannot eat fresh food. He wants canned food. He wants preserved food. He wants future. And the future is always dead. It is a projection of your dead past. Only the present is alive. When I say kill hope, I am saying become a king. A king does not ask. A king shares. If you are full of joy, you don't ask for love, you give love. You don't go to your wife with a begging bowl, "Love me, please love me." That is ugly. That is dependency. If you are full, you go to your wife and say, "I have so much love, I want to shower it on you." That is dignity. But you can only be full if you stop leaking energy into the future. Close the hole in the bucket. Stop the leak. Bring all your consciousness to this point. Concentrate your whole being into this second, and in that concentration, an explosion happens. You realize that you are not the body, not the mind, not the ambition. You are the witness. And the witness is never poor. The witness is the owner of the universe. But you are too busy begging for pennies to realize you are sitting on a diamond mine. Hope is the pennies. Reality is the diamond mine. Drop the pennies, look down, dig here, is Dhammo Sanantana. This is the eternal law. Only the one who stops running finds the treasure. Now we enter a very dangerous territory. We have to expose the greatest exploiters of hope, the religions. I do not call them religions, I call them corporations. The Vatican, the temples, the mosques. They are businesses. And what is their product? They don't sell shoes. They don't sell cars. They sell hope. They sell the ultimate hope, the afterlife. They know that life on earth is miserable. In fact, they want it to be miserable. If life on earth was a paradise, who would go to church? If you were ecstatic, dancing, making love, enjoying your food, would you go to the priest and say, "Father, save me"? You would say, "I am already saved, get out of my way." The priest needs you to be in agony. The priest needs you to be suffering, because only a suffering man buys the ticket to heaven. So the conspiracy is deep. For thousands of years, priests have colluded with politicians to keep humanity poor, miserable, and fearful. The politician makes your body a slave. The priest makes your soul a slave, and the chain they use to bind you is hope. Don't worry, the priest says. You are poor, blessed are the poor, you will inherit the kingdom of God. What a cunning trick. He is not helping you get out of poverty. He is glorifying poverty. He is giving you a hope so that you don't rebel. If the poor man loses hope in heaven, he will burn down the palace of the rich man today. But he thinks, why bother? It is only a short life. I will suffer here and then I will have eternal pleasure. So he remains a slave. Religion is the opium of the people. Marx was right, but he didn't go deep enough. It is not just opium, it is a surgical lobotomy. It destroys your capacity to think. It destroys your capacity to revolt. Look at the structure of heaven. What is it? It is nothing but a projection of your unfulfilled desires. What do Muslims hope for in paradise? Rivers of wine, beautiful women, houris who remain virgins forever. Why? Because in this life, wine is forbidden. In this life, sex is repressed. So the repressed mind projects its desires onto the future. Here I cannot drink, but there I will swim in wine. It is childish. It is a cartoon. If you look at the descriptions of heaven in any religion, you will find the psychology of the people who created it. In Tibet, the concept of hell is being frozen in ice. Why? Because Tibet is cold. They suffer from cold, so hell must be more cold. In India, hell is fire. Why? Because India is hot. They cannot imagine a cold hell. Cold would be paradise for an Indian. These are not geographical places. These are psychological maps of hope and fear. and you are wasting your real life for these maps. You are fasting, you are abstaining, you are torturing yourself. If I torture myself enough, God will give me a reward. Do you think God is a sadist? Do you think God enjoys seeing you starve? Do you think God enjoys seeing you whip yourself? If God enjoys that, then God is a monster. He is not a father, he is a psychopath. I teach you a God of love, not a God of torture. I teach you a God of celebration, not a God of calculation. But the priest stands in between. He says, no, you must pay the price. And the price is your life. Sacrifice your life today and I will give you a check for tomorrow. But have you noticed? The check is post-dated. It is dated after death. Have you ever seen anyone come back from the dead and cash the check? Has anyone come back and said, yes, the priest was right, the wine is delicious? Nobody comes back. It is the perfect crime. The priest sells you invisible goods, takes your visible money and your visible life, and you cannot even sue him for fraud because you have to die to find out the truth. Wake up. You are being cheated. You are being robbed of the only treasure you have, time. Religion thrives on the gap between who you are and who you should be. Hope creates the ideal. You should be like Jesus. You should be like Buddha. But you are not Jesus. You are you. So you feel guilty. I am not good enough. I am a sinner. Hope creates the sinner. Without the hope of being a saint, there is no sinner. If you accept yourself exactly as you are, where is the sin? An animal is not a sinner because an animal has no hope of becoming something else. A dog is happy being a dog. He does not try to be a cat. Only man tries to be something else. And in that trying, he becomes neurotic. He becomes split. He pretends to be holy while underneath he is boiling with instincts. This hypocrisy is the gift of the priest. I want you to drop the should, drop the ideal, drop the hope of perfection. You are already perfect, not in the moral sense, but in the existential sense. You are exactly as existence intended you to be. If existence wanted a Jesus, it would have created another Jesus. But it created you. It implies that existence needs you, not another Jesus. Your uniqueness is needed. Your flaws are needed. But hope tells you to polish yourself, to cut yourself, to fit into the mold. Don't fit into the mold. Break the mold. Break the statue of the future. Be a living, breathing, imperfect human being now. That is the only way to meet God. God does not meet plastic saints. God meets naked hearts. The religious conspiracy is to keep you childish. Hope is for children. Daddy will fix it. God will fix it. It keeps you irresponsible. You don't take charge of your life because you are hoping for a miracle. There are no miracles except the miracle of your awareness. Nobody is coming to save you. This is the hardest truth to accept. Nobody is coming. Messiahs are not coming. Avatars are not coming. You are alone, and you are responsible for your own bliss or your own misery. When you drop hope, you accept responsibility. You say, okay, If I'm miserable, I'm doing it. And if I'm doing it, I can stop doing it. Suddenly, the power is in your hand. As long as you hope for God to save you, you are powerless. You are a victim. The moment you kill hope, you become the master. You roll up your sleeves and you say, I will build my own heaven right here, right now. That is the spirit of the rebel. The rebel does not look up to the sky. He looks inward. He does not pray for favors. He meditates for strength. Be a rebel. Stop being a beggar in the temple. Become a god in your own home. We have spoken about hope as a disease. Now let us look at the virus that causes the disease. The virus is desire. Hope is just the shadow. Desire is the object casting the shadow. You hope because you desire. You desire because you are discontent. You desire because you feel an emptiness inside, a hole in your soul, and you think, if I can just fill this hole with money, with power, with sex, with God, then I will be complete. So you project this fulfillment into the future. That projection is hope. But have you ever analyzed the nature of desire? Desire is a very strange mechanism. It functions only as long as it is unfulfilled. The moment it is fulfilled, it dies, and a new desire is born instantly to take its place. It is like the hydra. You cut off one head and 3 more grow back. Look at your own life. Be honest. 10 years ago, you desired a car. You thought, if I get this car, my life will be perfect. You dreamed about it. You worked for it. You hoped for it. Then the day came. You bought the car. For 2 days, you were happy. You polished it. You drove it. You showed it to your neighbors. But what happened on the 3rd day? The car became ordinary. It became just a vehicle. The excitement evaporated. The hole in the soul was still there. So what did the mind do? Did it say, okay, desire is futile? No. The mind is cunning. The mind said, the problem was not the car. The problem was that it was a small car. You need a Mercedes. If you get a Mercedes, then you will be happy. And the cycle started again. The carrot was replaced by a bigger carrot. This is the wheel of samsara, the wheel of misery. You run from one desire to another, from one hope to another, always thinking the next one will be the real one. It is never the real one, because objects cannot fill a spiritual hole. You can put the whole world into your soul and it will still be empty, because the soul is not a container to be filled. It is a light to be realized. You are trying to fill light with furniture. It is impossible. There are 2 tragedies in life. One is not getting what you want. That is a tragedy. Of course, you suffer, you feel frustrated. But the second tragedy is much bigger. The second tragedy is getting what you want. That is the real disaster. Because when you get what you want, you are left with no excuse. When you are poor, you can hope, when I am rich, I will be happy. You have a dream to comfort you. But when you are rich and you are still miserable, what then? Now you have no hope. Now you are naked. That is why rich people are often more frustrated than poor people. The poor man has a future, the rich man has no future, he has arrived and the destination is empty. Look at the successful people, look at the movie stars, the billionaires. Are they dancing in the streets? Are their eyes shining with bliss? No. They are rushing to psychiatrists. They are taking sleeping pills. They are committing suicide. Why? They have achieved everything you are hoping for. They should be in paradise, but they are in hell. Because they realized that the ladder they were climbing was leaning against the wrong wall. They climbed to the very top only to find that there is nothing there but thin air. This realization creates a deep existential crisis, and that crisis is valuable. If you are intelligent, you will learn from their experience. You don't have to repeat the mistake. You can see Alexander failed, Marilyn Monroe failed, the richest man in Babylon failed. Why should I run the same race? Let me stop, let me jump off the wheel. But you don't jump off. You think maybe they did it wrong, I will do it right, my Mercedes will be different. This is the stupidity of the ego. It thinks it is the exception to the universal law. There are no exceptions. Desire creates distance. The moment you desire something, you create a distance between you and happiness. You say, happiness is there with the object. I am here without the object. So you become a traveler. You become a chaser. And as long as you are chasing happiness, you cannot be happy. Because happiness is not a destination, it is a manner of traveling. Happiness is your nature. It is hiding under the layers of desire. Desire is the noise, happiness is the silence. Desire is the wave, happiness is the ocean. If you stop the waves, the ocean is there. But you are busy creating more waves, hoping that one big wave will give you peace. Waves do not give peace, calmness gives peace. Now I want to give you a new word, a dangerous word. Society hates this word. The word is hopelessness. When you hear hopelessness, you think of depression. You think of darkness. You think of suicide. You think that poor man, he is hopeless. But I want to wash this word. I want to purify it. In my dictionary, hopelessness is the doorway to God. What does it mean to be totally hopeless? It means you have seen the futility of the future. It means you have seen that tomorrow offers nothing new. It means you have dropped the begging bowl. When you stop hoping, what happens? The energy that was rushing forward suddenly stops. It turns back. It returns to the source. When you are not going anywhere, you are here. When you are not becoming anyone, you are you. That settlement, that coming home is hopelessness. It is a tremendous relief. It is a deep relaxation. As long as there is hope, there is tension. Will I make it? Will I miss it? Am I on time? Tension, anxiety, stress. Hope is the mother of stress. Kill the mother and the child dies. If there is no hope, there is no stress. If you don't want to reach anywhere, you cannot get lost. If you don't want to achieve anything, you cannot fail. A hopeless man is the only man who cannot be defeated. How can you defeat a man who wants nothing? Alexander cannot defeat Diogenes. He can kill him, but he cannot defeat him. Because Diogenes has no ambition. To be hopeless means to be fearless. Hope and fear are two sides of the same coin. You hope for heaven, you fear hell. You hope for success, you fear failure. You hope for love, you fear loneliness. Drop the hope and the fear disappears instantly. You stand naked under the sky and you say, I am here. Whatever is, and it is beautiful. You have heard the phrase from Dante's Inferno, written over the gates of hell, abandon all hope ye who enter here. Dante was a poet, but he misunderstood the mystics. That inscription should not be on the gate of hell. It should be on the gate of paradise. Abandon all hope ye who enter here. Because if you carry hope, you cannot enter paradise. You will turn paradise into another waiting room. You will stand in front of God and ask, okay, this is nice, but what's next? Is there a VIP section? Your mind will destroy paradise. To enter paradise, you must leave the mind behind, and the mind is hope. So when I say be hopeless, I am saying be mindless. Be a no mind. Just look at the sunset. Don't hope for a better sunset. Don't compare it to yesterday's sunset. Don't take a picture for tomorrow's Instagram. Just look. Be the eyes. When there is no thought of the future, the sunset enters you deeply. It touches your core. You dissolve in the colors. That dissolution is ecstasy. That dissolution is meditation. Meditation is nothing but the state of hopelessness. You are just sitting silently, doing nothing. The spring comes and the grass grows by itself. This is the Zen manifesto, doing nothing. It does not mean you become a vegetable. It means you stop forcing, you stop pushing the river. You let life happen to you. You become a womb, you receive. Hope is aggressive, it is male energy. You are trying to penetrate the future. Hopelessness is receptive, it is female energy. You allow the present to penetrate you, and only in that receptivity is truth born. Look at the flowers, look at the trees, they are hopeless. Have you ever seen a tree looking worried? Will it rain tomorrow? Will I get enough sun? What if the other trees grow taller than me? No. The tree is simply standing. It trusts existence. If water comes, good. If water doesn't come, good. I am here. Because of this trust, the tree has a grace, it has a beauty that no human can match. Even a dry leaf falling from a tree has more grace than a rich man in his Ferrari. Because the leaf is in accord with the Tao, it is in accord with nature. The rich man is fighting nature. He is hoping to conquer time. Learn from the trees, learn from the animals. Jesus says, look at the lilies of the field, they toil not, neither do they spin. Yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Why? What is the secret of the lily? The secret is it has no tomorrow. It blooms now. It releases its fragrance now. It gives 100% to the present moment. It doesn't save any fragrance for next year because it knows there may be no next year. Live like a lily. Pour yourself totally into this moment. If you are drinking tea, make it a ceremony. Don't drink tea while reading the newspaper and planning your office work. That is an insult to the tea. That is an insult to existence. Hold the cup, feel the warmth, smell the aroma, taste the first sip, become the sip. In that moment, there is no world, there are no problems, there is no God. There is only tea. That is enough. That is what Zen calls the tea ceremony. It is not about the tea, it is about the hopelessness. It is about being so content with the act that you need nothing else. If you can make your whole life a tea ceremony, waking up, walking, working, loving, sleeping, if every act is done with such totality that no residue is left for the future, then you are free. Then you are a Buddha. The Buddha is not a man who has achieved a great goal. The Buddha is a man who has dropped all goals. He has nowhere to go. And because he has nowhere to go, he is everywhere. Hopelessness brings you to your senses. Hope drives you out of your senses. Have you noticed? When you are very hopeful, you are almost drunk. You are hallucinating. You smile at things that are not there. You talk to yourself. You are in a dream. Hopelessness is a cold shower. It shocks you. It wakes you up. There is no future. This is it. At first, it feels cold. It feels empty. But stay with it. Don't run back to the warmth of lies. Stay in the cold shower. Suddenly, you will feel a new heat arising, the heat of vitality, the heat of reality. You will feel, I am alive, I am breathing, this is a miracle. You don't need a golden palace to feel the miracle. Just breathing is a miracle. Just seeing the green of the leaf is a miracle. But you miss this miracle because you are looking for magic tricks. Hope looks for magic. Hopelessness finds the miracle. Be hopeless. Be ordinary. Be miraculous. We have arrived at the final barrier. We have dismantled the mind. We have dismantled religion. We have dismantled desire. Now, only one thing stands between you and the truth: the future. You are still holding on to a tiny thread of tomorrow. You are thinking, okay, I understand, hope is bad. I will practice hopelessness starting tomorrow. I will become a Buddha next week. You see, the disease is so deep. Even the cure becomes a hope. Even the dropping of hope becomes a project for the future. I am here to cut that last thread. I am here to tell you, kill the future. Psychologically, the future does not exist. It is a fabrication. It is a ghost. But you are feeding the ghost with your blood. Every time you think, I will be happy when, you are sacrificing a living moment to a dead ghost. You are murdering the living child of the present to feed the dead vampire of the future. Stop this murder. Stop this sacrifice. There is no next moment. There is only this moment expanding eternally. Time is not a horizontal line going from A to B. Time is a vertical depth. You can go deeper into now, or you can go deeper into now. There is no other place to go. But the mind creates the horizontal line because the mind needs to travel. The mind needs a journey. The mind cannot sit still. So it invents a goal. God is there, far away. Run. And you run. And because you are running, you miss God, who is standing right here. God is not the goal. God is the ground you are running on. God is the breath you are breathing while you run. Stop running. Stand still. And suddenly, the future collapses. And with the collapse of the future, the past collapses. Because they are twins. Without future, there is no past. There is only eternity. You have been taught that life has a purpose. This is another trick of hope. What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of my existence? You want a goal. You want to be a tool for something higher. I say to you, life is purposeless. It is not a business. It is a play. It is Leela. Look at the rose bush. What is its purpose? Does it produce cash? Does it save the world? Does it go to heaven? No, it just flowers. It dances in the wind. It releases fragrance and then it dies. It is a play of energy. Look at the stars. What is their purpose? They are just shining. Existence is a celebration, not a workshop. But you are too serious. You are carrying the weight of the world. I must find my purpose. And because of this seriousness, you miss the dance. Hope makes you serious. Hopelessness makes you playful. If there is no goal, there is no failure. If there is no destination, you can enjoy the walk. A morning walk has no destination. You just walk for the joy of walking. Make your whole life a morning walk. Live purposelessly. Live intensely, but without a goal. Love, but not to create a marriage. Love for the sheer joy of loving. Work, but not to build an empire. Work for the sheer joy of creating. When you act without a goal, your action becomes pure. Your action becomes meditation. Krishna says in the Gita, do the action but drop the fruit. Drop the result. The result is in the future. The action is in the present. If one eye is on the fruit, you have only one eye on the action. You are half blind. If both eyes are on the fruit, you are totally blind. Forget the fruit. The fruit will take care of itself. Be total in the action. When you are total, you are divine. I know you are afraid. The mind asks, if I kill the future, what will happen to me? Will I become lazy? Will I stop eating? No. Do you think the animals are lazy? Do you think the birds are lazy? They have no future. Yet they wake up at 5 a.m. and sing. They work hard to build their nest. They fly thousands of miles. Where does their energy come from? It comes from the source. It comes from life itself. When you drop the future, you don't become lazy. You become spontaneous. You act out of energy, not out of duty. You act out of overflowing life, not out of fear of starvation. The man of hope works out of fear. If I don't work, I will die. The man of no hope works out of love. I am alive, so I must create. Creation is the nature of life. You cannot stop creating. Even if you sit silently, you are creating silence. So don't worry about becoming a vegetable. You will become a storm, but a storm without a center of anxiety, a storm of joy. This is the birth of the new man. The old man lived by hope, he lived by fear, he lived by the calendar. He was a Christian, a Hindu, a Buddhist. He followed the map of the past to reach the hope of the future. The new man lives without a map. He lives without a calendar. He lives by his own inner light. He trusts himself. He trusts that whatever happens, I will respond to it then. I don't need to rehearse. I don't need to prepare. I am ready. This readiness is faith. Faith is not believing in a God somewhere. Faith is trusting the God in here. Faith is trusting your own consciousness to handle the unknown. When you kill the future, you are forced to trust yourself. You have no other support. The crutches are gone. You have to walk on your own legs. And let me tell you, your legs are strong. They have been weak only because you never used them. You used the wheelchair of hope. Throw away the wheelchair. Walk, run, dance. The kingdom is yours, but it is yours only if you claim it now. So my final message to you is this. Don't wait. Waiting is the sin. Don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for the right partner. Don't wait for enlightenment. Jump. Jump into the fire of the present. Burn your bridges. Burn your blueprints. Burn your hopes. Be left with nothing. Be a beggar in the eyes of the world, but be an emperor in your own being. The world will call you crazy. Let them. They are the ones who are sane in an insane asylum. You be the sane one outside the walls. The wall is hope. Jump over the wall. The sky is waiting. The sun is waiting. The tea is getting cold. Drink it now.